Hey there, tomato heads. Lauren here, Mrs. Tomato Head. Sorry, I got to adjust my tomato Santa hat. Welcome. For those of you who are live, you may have seen me earlier today doing a spotlight on a tomato shirt vendor, gardening shirt vendor. But today I've been wanting to do this unboxing. Perhaps not this one because I just got the order in a few weeks ago, but I've been wanting to do an unboxing for Tomato Jim for over a year. Jim Wyant, who is in our group Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. If you're not a member, we would love to have you. We accept and foster the growth of tomato enthusiasts all over the world, whether you're a beginner or more seasoned grower. We welcome you. We're a drama-free, really kind, generous place. So I like to do these unboxings and I like to do them live because I love interacting with you all. I love putting the comments on the screen. And sometimes, sometimes the vendors are here to answer questions. But Jim has about 250 different tomatoes. His specialty is an Appalachian. Is it Appalachian or Appalachian? I've heard it both ways. Appalachian and Kentucky heirlooms. But he does have also a phenomenal collection of Italian varieties and then some other miscellaneous things. So I'm going to show you, of course, no order from me is ever small, but I got 2 envelopes from Jim this year. And then this is a baggie of stuff I haven't logged onto my spreadsheet yet. I've logged a lot of them, but there's just so many good ones. So the way Jim works, and I'll say this again throughout the broadcast for anybody who's tuning in late. So you can place an order for Jim through Facebook Messenger. So you want to contact Jim. He is in our group. Let me put up the banner. There we go. He's on Facebook at jim.wyant.79, but you can also find him through our group and you can just send him a private message. He will then send you a message back with his list of all his varieties. And then if you want to see any of them, you can look at them in an album on his Facebook page. And those of you who have ordered from Jim before, you know that what you get is just unbelievable. I'm a sucker for great packaging, and Jim has it all as far as I'm concerned. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But if you've ordered from Jim before, we want to hear from you because you can take my word for it. But, having other tomato heads share their experience, Jim has a lot of fans. And I'm a bit appalled that it has taken me so long to do this, kind of like I did Ken from Forgotten Heirlooms last week. Like, how is that the first time I've ever done an unboxing? Same for Tomato Jim. He is in the United States. He does ship international. And I'm sure I'll repeat this through the process too, but he charges $3 a pack of seeds, and there's 24 seeds per pack, or 2 for $5. Shipping domestic is $1 flat as long as there's no tracking. For however many varieties, believe it or not, it's $1. International is $2.50 US for up to 18 packets. And he will split up. I believe I ordered 33 varieties, and he put it in 2 envelopes. And I asked him, like, how many do you usually fit? And he said somewhere around 18. He doesn't want to push it. So what you get, so if it's two for $5, I figured it out. So it's 48 seeds for $5. It's like 10 cents a seed. And these are great seeds. His varieties, you're starting to see them pop up a little bit elsewhere, but he really holds the, I don't know what the right word is, but he's the king. He's a seed steward extraordinaire of the stories of Appalachian and Kentucky heirlooms. And he shares with us these stories, which is one of the things that makes him so fantastic. Before I keep babbling on, I want to get to some of your comments. Whoa, 37 minutes ago. Am I that late? You must have tuned in early, Eric. You must have been excited. Welcome. I'm glad you're excited for this unboxing. Hi, Dee. Nice to see you. And hi, Heidi. I'm way behind in comments, but again, if you've ordered from Jim before, please tell us your experience. I've heard nothing but great things, and I've experienced great things myself. Hi, Kelly. Love Jim Wyant seed collection. Can't wait to see what you got. Me too. Me too. Honestly, I did peek. I mean, these are open. But what he does and how I do it with him is he will send me and everybody else a list on Messenger of all of his varieties. I copy and paste that into a Google Doc. And then, I'd like to say that I just like write down a few, but what I do is I kind of take off the things I didn't order. So I've got a list here of everything I ordered in a Google Doc. And I've got some good stuff. And I was asking him just a little while ago, he's got asterisks next to some of them, and those are new to his collection for any given growing season. So for the 2024-2025 growing season, he will have asterisks next to it. Who else we got? Hi, Mike. Glad you're here. Welcome. Hi, Lisa. Hello, everyone. Yeah, Jim Wyant, can't wait to see. Who else we got? You Grow Row. Hi, You Grow Row. Thanks for tuning in. I kind of look like a demented elf here, don't I? I want to know who else would order a tomato Santa hat other than Kina and Jen. I need to meet these people. Hi, Rowena. Thanks for being here. And Michael Kelly. Hi, Michael. Nice to see you. Just don't want to miss anybody. Did I miss Terry? Hi, Terry. I see people saying hi to you, but I didn't see your comment. Hi, Rana. I think I sent you a message on Messenger a couple of weeks ago, Rana, about something I owe you. If you answered back, I apologize, but take a look at your Messenger and see if you see anything from me. I could be like completely off the wall, but I'm pretty sure. Hi, Nicole Smith Gardening. Thanks for being here. Hi, Claudia. Again, if you're just joining us, I'm going to be doing an unboxing for Jim Wyant, otherwise known as Tomato Jim. First time I ever heard of Tomato Jim actually was from two people that I deeply respect, and they both kind of told me around the same time about him. First one's Jen. Of course, she did, was it 2 years ago? Year and a half ago, she went to a seed swap. Jim was there, and so she put it all on YouTube. So I got to see Jim, but she was talking about this Tomato Jim, and I didn't know who he was. And then Ken Fry, same thing. I think I called Ken. We've been friends for a couple of years now. I think I called him like the king of tomatoes, and he was so sweet and humble. He said, "No, that's Tomato Jim, who's the king of tomatoes." So Jim, if you're watching, that's what Ken says about you. Very nice. Hi, Kristen. Thanks for being here. Hi, Karen. Nice to see you here. Another day, another unboxing, right? I'm trying to get these done. Not done, I won't be done, but my daughter Riley comes home on Monday. So I've got orders and I want to get these out. So I'll be doing a couple this week, I think. Hey, Kina. Thanks for being here. Welcome. Tara Dove. Hello, hello. It still says Pepperhead in training? Hang on. Sam told me the same thing, but what I see is Mrs. Tomato Head. So on the screen right now, it says Pepperhead in training, because what I'm seeing is Mrs. Tomato Head. That's annoying. I am a Pepperhead in training, but still. Weird. Weird. What about here? Oops. Yeah, Mrs. Tomato Head here too. Got it. Right when I think I've got EV Mux all straightened out, everything goes to hell. That's all right. I am a Pepperhead in training, but it's supposed to say Mrs. Tomato Head. Hi, Harley. Thanks for being here. Kelly, yes, I did get my hat working again. I felt very electronically savvy, but I took apart the little battery thing and somehow it worked, at least for today. Hi, Deb. Thanks for being here. Hi, Dee. Welcome. Nice to see a nice crowd here today. There we go. Kelly says, I've ordered twice from Jim. Great experience both times. He's very quick, very efficient, great with communication, and his seeds are fantastic. I'll show you in a minute. Hi, Sue. Thanks for being here. They are ridiculously low, Karen. Absolutely. I had to confirm with Jim, even though I've ordered from him before. I knew they were low, but I don't pay that much attention. So I'm like, let me get this straight with the prices. And it is true. It's $3 each packet of 24 or 2 for $5. Domestic is $1 shipping, international $2.50 US. So it's crazy. Again, if you're looking to get started in swapping seeds with other people, if you're new to collecting or whatever, well, I shouldn't say that. Even if you're not new, Jim's varieties are very unique. You won't find them in many places. Oh shoot, what was I just going to say? Oh, so if you're looking to get started in swapping, purchasing from Jim is fantastic. All right, I'm just going to give a spoiler now because it's just a matter of time, but I want to show you quickly so you see what you get. This is his packet. And as you can see, it's got fantastic photos. He always has them on a scale. I believe he always has the interior. And then the entire information, the entire story about each tomato. And you guys know, if you watch me before, I am a sucker for the tomato stories. I'm a sucker for the stories that go along with each variety. And it's another thing that makes that makes Jim so amazing, is that he honors that very much. And people trust him with their old varieties, which is why he's, the king steward of these Appalachian and Kentucky varieties. And then, as you can see, the seeds are nice, fresh, and fluffy. So it's a great way. You get a lot of seeds for what you pay for, and then you can, use those to trade with others. I have found that when I trade with vendors from overseas, what they want are Jim's varieties. Always. Last year, I could think of several, and then this year I've already gotten several because even though I don't log them officially out of my spreadsheet, I have a list at the bottom of what is on order, and they zero in on it. They are hungry for the Kentucky Appalachian varieties. So, you want to give him a try. Sue says, I've yet to order from Tomato Jim, but I do have quite a list for him when I do. Not surprised. Hi, Nancy. I've ordered twice from Jim. Good to hear. Lisa says he is the best. Love all his varieties. Ships real fast. He does. Blah, blah. I'm glad to see your nickname. My nickname for blah, blah is coming true. I can't call you by your real name anymore. You're always blah, blah. Dee says, great ordering from Jim, and it's standing room only at his tables at the seed swaps. Oh gosh, I'm waiting. I want to go to a seed swap so badly. They look so much fun. And the people, his coalition of tomato heads that they generally go to the seed swaps together, Kim Lund. I love how they help each other out. It's really what I love about most of the tomato community is we're one big happy family. There's no competition. We help each other out. And you can see that. And Dee, you've had the pleasure of going to the swaps. I have not, but I've seen enough pictures and I've heard enough stories to know that they help each other out. Lisa wants to know if anyone's going to the seed swap in January. I'm not. I know that Jim, he posted, I think at least once in our group about the seed swap. I keep meaning to have an event schedule of all the seed swaps we know of, and I'm dying to start one myself. Heidi, can we just agree to meet at this time daily? Well, it sure is turning out that way, isn't it? I have another unboxing for tomorrow, I think. But I'm having lunch with my co-admin of my other group, Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. And I may not be home in time for this time. I may have to do it a little bit later or another day. I'd be interested to know which of the varieties covered today might produce a lot of fruits if Lauren or anyone knows offhand. I wouldn't know about any of the ones I ordered today, but please feel free if you've ordered or anybody knows, please, we want to know as much information as possible, and that helps us to order. Did you order the shirts, Deb? I'm so glad. They're great. Oh, you're welcome, Teresa. I'm glad to hear that. Yes, blah, blah. I love the pictures and description on the bags. Me too. Me too. All right, let's get started. Deborah from Australia says, I've had an order from Jim. Fantastic. So again, I believe I ordered 35 varieties, give or take, and they ship regular standard envelopes, nothing on there about, tomatoes, if in case you're overseas that you're afraid of it being, caught in customs. And then he wraps them in paper like this and beautifully organized with protection, has them out. It's like Christmas morning when you open these up and you see there's just something about having the pictures on it. And I know it's not always possible for vendors, but it just gets me excited. I like the visuals. Malachi Jen's here. Hi, friends. Two of my new favorites from 2024 from Jim were Bug Tussle Blues Giant Blackie and Cherokee Purple Cherry. Good to know. I'm going to talk about the bug tussles in a little bit. Well, I suppose I could talk about them now. And you're the second person. No, there's more than that. I've heard Kina, I know, grew Cherokee Purple Cherry, and she absolutely loved it. Let's see if we can take a look. All right, well, this one's already up on the screen, so let's show this. And if you're joining us, I'm talking about Jim Wyant, or Tomato Jim. He accepts orders on Facebook. So if you find him through our group, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, you can just send him a private message. He will send you the list of his varieties. And then for payment, he accepts Venmo and PayPal, I believe. I paid him through Venmo, I believe. So it's very, very easy. But if you want to see what they look like, you can look at his Facebook page, and I see the settings on these are set to public. So even if you're not friends with Jim, you can find them. I had this one up because I asked Jim himself, like, which ones are like your favorite varieties? And, his answer is if it wasn't phenomenal, he wouldn't carry it. He told me that a week or so ago. But he does have some that are kind of, he's kind of known for. He says Indiana Red, I think he said it is his best selling. Yeah, it's a bestseller. And so what you see on the page here is what you get on the seed packet. So Indiana Red, 75 days, indeterminate, regular wispy leaf, excellent tasting, 12 to 18 ounce lovely red hearts. Big Red indicated they were early for him, 60 days when he grew this variety in 07. Horace Big Red Boynton Jr. of Bethel Ridge, Kentucky, brought 4 plants at a local nursery in the spring of 2007 that were labeled Indiana Red. He was unable to find out any further information or history on the variety. This vigorous plant produces a generous amount of large to huge red ox-heart-shaped fruits. Flavor is rich, full, and sweet. Like most ox hearts, the flesh is relatively dry, which makes it great for processing. Its excellent, full, rich, sweet flavor also makes it good for fresh eating. Relatively few seeds per fruit, somewhat early tomato for such a large ox heart type, an extremely large red tomato, very wispy and drooping regularly foliage, excellent taste, moderate production. And then he writes, Horace Red Boynton Jr. of Bethel Ridge, Kentucky, passed away February 27th, 2008. I mean, really, for a tomato head like me that do my show on Thursdays, Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce, where I love to share the stories, Jim's got it right there. And it's not unique for this variety. He's got them on everything, including his seed packets. So that's Indiana Red. But let me share another one he's known for. And Jen already mentioned Bug Tussle Blues Giant Blackie, but there's another one, and you guys may know. I saw this start to pop up from vendors just this year, just a couple, I think. There's Bug Tussle Buttermilk Wonder. Here's a photo of that in the white. Hetherington Pink and Bug Tussle Buttermilk Wonder. But let me find the actual listing. Well, actually, let's go to Bug Tussle Blues Giant Blackie first. is from the Chris Hubbard collection. If that name sounds familiar, you would recognize it perhaps from Ken Fry from Forgotten Heirlooms. Chris Hubbard is another seed steward of the heirloom Appalachian varieties. And so Jim and Ken are very deliberate and intentional about making sure to mention the collections it comes from, which I think is fantastic. Let's see. Sweet, not as dark as most black tomato varieties, just a hint of smoky flavor. This is a review from someone else, not Jim's words. Very juicy seeds found by Chris Hubbard in his grandfather's brewer's freezer in the early 2000s. The packet was marked from G. Tassler, 1961, from Monroe County, Bug Tussle, Kentucky. So that's Bug Tussle Blues Giant Blackie, one that Malachite Jen just said she loves. But one of the ones that I found was super popular is called Bug Tussle Buttermilk Wonder, and it is this glorious white, creamy white tomato. Check this out. Has anybody else grown this? Speaking of the devil, hi, Ken. Nice to see you, my friend. Oh, Rowena says, my Indiana Red died after transplanting, so I need to try it again. Yeah, I think I do too, if he says it's his bestseller. Oh, shoot, Mike, sorry. I don't know why you wouldn't have gotten a notification. I did just schedule it a couple hours ago, but still, if you subscribe, you should have gotten a notification. Not sure, but I'm glad you found it now. Okay. Bug Tussle Buttermilk Wonder. Creamy white 1 pound fruits cover large plants. Fruits have sweet, rich taste. Some have a hint of pink at the very end of blossom end. Pre-1900 German origin, community-grown Bug Tussle, Kentucky. Seeds from Chris Hubbard. And then Jim told me himself that it's still a hit with almost all who try it. It has the distinction of being the only white or cream tomato with a lot of flavor. Honestly, that is one of the things that steers me away from whites normally, but you don't need to tell me twice. And like Jim said, if he doesn't like something, he doesn't carry it. I really think that's amazing. So that's Bug Tussle Buttermilk Wonder. Ken says he's grown a great tomato. That's what I keep hearing. Kelly says, I have seeds for Bug Tussle Buttermilk Wonder. We'll be growing it next year. Oh, Yvette. Hi, Yvette. My Bug Tussle Buttermilk Wonder died too. Oh, that's strange. But I have a feeling many of us are going to be growing it this year. And I've added Indiana Red. What else? Let me show you. I mentioned a few minutes ago about Cherokee Purple Cherry. And this is one that up until this year, I think, Jim is the first to carry it, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, Keena loved it. And Keena, if you're still there and you want to chime in, please feel free. And Malachi Jen. So this is Cherokee Purple Cherry. Oops, hang on. I forgot to go live on Instagram. Whoops, only half an hour late. There we go. Cherokee Purple Cherry. 75 days indeterminate regular leaf. Found in a field of Cherokee Purple plants. 1 of 1,000. Clifton, Hedrick, Kentucky. Found by Clifton in his garden. A very beautiful and super tasty sport of Cherokee Purple tomato. Small cherry-sized fruits. But in your mouth, a huge explosion of best tomato taste. Oh, why did I not grow this past year? Am I crazy? Similar to big fruited Cherokee Purple tomato. Strong and very disease resistant. Indeterminate, gives a very good yield of round, dark purple tomatoes. Highly recommend to everyone who enjoy Cherokee Purple taste. I'm going to give you the direct link to find Jim on Facebook. You don't need to friend him, but to order, you do need to message him. And like I said a few minutes ago, I believe all of his varieties are set to public. So even if you're not friends with him, you can take a look at these listings, which is helpful. Let me put a direct link. So it's on Facebook, it's at jim.wyant.79, or you can find him through our group Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. Hi, Hope. Buttermilk Wonder was terrific, she says. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Hi, Kathy. Glad you're here. That looks amazing. I agree. Totally looks amazing. That's not what I wanted to get rid of. Here we go. Hi, Sherva. Thanks for being here. Kina says, I did grow it. It was super good, even in our rainy weather. Yeah, Kina had a lousy year with her weather, but this was one of the first she shared with Jen and I how great it was. So that's all I need to hear, but plus the description sounds amazing. And then there's another one that I didn't order this time, but I did order last year. And I have heard that this one is great too. It's called Jane's Judy Clark. And Jim, I didn't ask you about this one if you're watching, but I ordered it because it sounds incredible. And I've heard from others who did grow it. If you're one of those people who did grow it and you want to share with us your experience, this is Jane's Judy Clark Family Tomato. And it is 65 days indeterminate regular leaf, very early. My first ripe fruit was at 57 days. The next 3 were 63 days, dark purple to brown fruit, 8 to 10 ounces, very buttery, shallow core, nice deep tomato taste. In the Jane Reams family for over 80 years at Mays Creek Road, Washington County, Kentucky. Seeds from Rita Milburn. That looks amazing. Anybody grown that? Oh, hi, Sherman. Glad you're here. Welcome. So if you're just joining, I'm doing an unboxing for Jim Wyant, otherwise known as Tomato Jim. You can find him on Facebook. You can find him through our group. If you private message him, he sends you a list of all that he's offering at the moment, which is around 250 varieties. He's been doing this for 20 years, I should say. He's been collecting seeds for 20 years and selling to the public for 15 years. He is a very well-known Appalachian and Kentucky heirloom seed steward with a great collection also of some really exciting Italian varieties and then some other miscellaneous things that he really likes. His packs are 24 seeds for $3 or 2 packs for $5. A lot of seeds. And every pack looks like this. Let me show you a little closer. With the story, with a picture. Doesn't really do focus up close really well, does it? But as you can see, those are nice looking seeds for sure. Hi, Pretty. Glad you're here. Hey, Robin. Hi there. Oh, my happy place makes me happy. Hi, happy place. And Andrea Ruiz. Nice to see you, Andrea. Glad you guys can join me. It is today is Tuesday, December 10th, 2024, I should say. I know my videos get watched in different years. Hi, Eva. Got seeds from Kina for Jane Judy Clark's. Oh, wow, tomatoes. So delicious. I'm glad you tuned in, Eva. You need to tell us all how things are. Yeah, I had it on my list for last year, and then I don't know, but it's going on this year for sure. Rowena says 2025 grow list won't have room, so 2026 might have to be a bunch of Jim Wyant varieties. Yeah, well, make your list now. I'm a tomato enabler. I can't believe my name says, I can't believe it still says Pepperhead in training. I'm looking at it on my screen. It says Mrs. Tomato Head. Oh, well, whatever. You know I'm Mrs. Tomato Head. Oh, Chastity. Hi, Chastity. Nice to see you. Yvette says, didn't get any fruit from the Clark family, but not the fault of the variety. Oh, that's a shame. Jim has like this die-hard contingency of fans. There's one, I don't want to put him on the spot because he's not here and I didn't really clear it with him, but a guy that I've known and even before our group that just gushes over Tomato Jim's varieties. There's many of you out there. He's got a big and devoted and loyal following. And I always feel like I need to say this and if you've watched me before, you know, I never do unboxings in exchange for seeds. I order them just like everybody else. So please know that this isn't like a pay to play type situation. I only do unboxings for vendors that are either new to me and look good so far, or ones I've ordered from before that I've had a good experience with. And Jim is part of that. I've ordered from him a few times. He takes payment over Venmo or PayPal, and he ships international also. Again, that is $2.50 US for up to 18 packets international. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Jerry, we know because of the cap. Not sure what you mean. We know because of the cap. Oh, the date. I get it. Yep. Oh. Ken says, Jim is my mentor. He's the one that got me going to seed swaps. That's so nice. That's so nice. Ken, I don't know if you were here when I said it at the beginning of the show, but I remember you and Jen were the two to tell me about Tomato Jim. And I'm like, who's this guy, Tomato Jim? And you told me. And I remember one time early on around that same time, actually, maybe that's how you told me about him. I called you like the king of the heirloom Appalachian tomatoes, and you so humbly said, no, that's Tomato Jim. So I did share that. You're such a good guy. Both of you are. Karen says, Jane's Judy Clark is a nice looking tomato for 65-day early. Hoping it tastes as good as it looks. Tired of sillettes? Only grow because it's early. I don't know that one. Hi, Chastity. Tomato Jim doesn't have a website. You can look at his things on Facebook and order through Messenger. You can find him he is in the group. You can find him on Facebook by going to @jim.wyant.79 or find him through the group. He does have his varieties set, the settings set to public. So even if you're not friends with him, you can see everything that I'm showing you today. I'll put this ticker up. So there, you can take a look. All right, let's go to unboxing some of the stuff that I got. In case you're joining late, shipped in regular envelope with no signs of, a tomato seed vendor on it in case customs is a worry for you. Then wrapped in paper along with protection padding. Okay, this one sounded good. And so what I'm going to do is just search on his site and hopefully show you from there. This one is called Bill Haywood. I don't know if I already said that. It's going to be impossible for me to do all of the ones I ordered today. So I'll do a few. Probably more than a few. Here we go. Look at how phenomenal this thing looks. Oh my. Wow. Bill Haywood, 75 days, indeterminate, regular leaf. Frank Barnett named this tomato after Bill Haywood, a coal mine operator in Floyd County, Kentucky. Bill Haywood lived next door to Brenda Gray. They were also cousins. They were cousins to Frank. Also, Brenda gave Frank the seeds to this mater. Brenda's great-great-grandmother, Darkis Stevens Haywood, grew this tomato. Darkis was a sister to Frank's great-grandmother, Isaac Newton Stevens. What a name. Both were a quarter Cherokee, as their grandmother, Rebecca Pridemore, was full-blooded Cherokee. Seriously, these stories that he shares are unbelievable. But look at this tomato. I mean, it's a bicolor, but like that deep golden with that dark pink veining. That is gorgeous. Has anybody grown this other than Jim? Hi, Missy. Yes, thank you for sharing this. Ordering from Jim is super easy. You're not kidding. He gets, as soon as you give him your list, he's right on it. Chastity says, that looks like it needs to be in between two pieces of my sourdough bread. Amen, sister. I'm a sourdough fanatic myself. Amen. This looks I've shared before, I'm not huge on oranges or yellows, but when it's a bicolor, I do often like those. And this one, the coloring is fantastic. So was this a new one? Doesn't look like it was a new one for him this year, but it is new to me. And again, right on the package, everything. 24 seeds per package, $3 each, 2 for $5. $1 shipping domestic, no matter how many varieties, $2.50 international. All right. Let's see what I got here. Let's look at some of his newer ones. Oh, this one looked good too. They all looked good. You have 2 loaves proofing right now. I've got one I was proofing overnight, and it's in the fridge to be put in the oven as soon as this is over. Love it. We'll have to talk. Whiskey Sipper got off Facebook, hacked a couple of times. So is there some other way to order from Jim? Jim, if you're there, I don't want to put words in your mouth. I would think that he may offer through email. I'm unsure of his email address, but Jim, if you're there, if you could weigh in on that, that would be helpful. Or if somebody else knows. Facebook can be troublesome like that, but I'm glad you asked. We'll try to get you the answer to that question. Sherva says, I had Bill Haywood on my wish list a couple of years ago. I stopped requesting it because it didn't seem like anyone had heard of it. Interesting. Well, maybe now they will. Hi, Kathy. Glad you're here. Hi, Dee. This is helpful. I've grown many tomato Jim tomatoes. I've not found one I did not like. That seems to be the general consensus with people. And that member I talked about anonymously a couple minutes ago, he says the same thing. And just in case you're just joining now, Jim says, it's tough when you ask him what his favorite tomato is, because he said, I wouldn't grow it if it wasn't great. Kind of like Secret Seed Cartel. They say the same thing. Let me get to this one that is new to him this year. It's called Blackberry. And again, when he sends you his list, oh, look at that. He's got an asterisk next to the ones that are new for this season. Blackberry. 85 days indeterminate, regular leaf. These eye-grabbing 10 to 18-ounce tomatoes have everything going for them. Exteriors are a lustrous, deep cocoa ruby red with deep sea green shoulders. Interior flesh has rings of purple with splashes of magenta. Man, Jim, it's all in the description, my friend. Flavor is sweet and rich. Black tomato from the late John Allen of Cartersville, Kentucky. It is an excellent tasting tomato. This looks right up my alley. I love the deep brick red, purple tomatoes. It sounds fantastic. Hi, Sam. Glad you're here. Hi, Kim. Welcome. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. And again, if you have ordered from Jim, please let us know your experience. Even if it's a variety I'm not talking about, if you have one that's your favorite, I can bring it on so we can talk about it. Chastity, probably a good thing he doesn't have a website. Take all my money. Chastity, my new friend, you need to look at his stuff. I'll put the direct link to his Facebook page right in the chat to make it easy for you. Hang on. Okay. That's the direct link to him on Facebook. However, you do not need to be friends. You don't need to request to be friends with Jim in order to order. You can see all of the information on the varieties. You just go, Facebook has like a search section in the upper right-hand corner, and you can search for all of these. But you do need to send him a private message to get his current list. I don't know if anybody has an answer about being able to do email instead of Facebook. Maybe we'll get that answer. Oh, Hope says I grew blackberry for the fall. Very good. Good to know, Hope. You're one of the first. He does ship to Canada, Kim. Yes, he ships internationally. One pack is $3 for 24 seeds. Looks like this. All the photo information, all the stories I'm reading on there. 24 seeds for $3 US. 2 packs, So 48 seeds for $5 US, and then shipping to Canada would be $2. Amazing prices. I know you guys are on strike right now in Canada, but yes, he absolutely ships international. Sherver says, I just requested his list. Good. I don't want to share it myself because, I don't want to change anything from him. Things could possibly change as far as what he's offering if things are not in stock or whatever. So I don't want to do that. So that's blackberry. Sounds and looks amazing. I wonder how he got started. Did he tell me? I mean, he said, did I not write it down? He said he's started collecting 20 years ago. So for 2 decades, started selling to the public 15 years ago. I'm not sure if he divulged much more than that, but if anybody else knows, please feel free to chime in. This next one, I think, is this is another new one for 2024, 2025. It's called Almost Lost. When he sent me his list, my eyes automatically went bing to all the new ones. Here's Almost Lost. 80 days indeterminate potato leaf, red, meaty, and sweet slicing tomato with a good old-fashioned bite at the end. Very meaty center, grown by the Thomas family pre-1930. Thomas worked at the courthouse in Grayson County, Kentucky. Thomas received seeds from fellow beekeeper at Honeyfest in Clarkson, Kentucky. Original seeds from Chris Hubbard. And it's not even just a story that he shares. It's the story behind the story behind the story. I mean, he's sharing all the steps that it took for him to get seeds and now for him to share with all of us. Just fantastic. Man after my own heart, for sure, as far as the stories. Here's another new one for this year. Again, if you've ordered from Jim before and grown his varieties and you have a favorite, please feel free to put it in the comments and I will try to share it. This one's called Axel Lake Swamp. I know Jen has grown a bunch of his varieties before, and she's a fan as well. Here's Axel Lake. Oh, it's Axel Lake Swamp Miracle. My apologies. Axel Lake Swamp Miracle. 85 to 90 days, indeterminate, regular leaf. Fruits growing over 2 pounds. Beautiful light orange skin. Good balanced and sweet tomato taste. Meaty center. Bulbous and irregular shaped fruits. Heirloom from the Barlow family. Ballard County, Kentucky. Original seeds from Chris Hubbard. I love the color. Even though I'm not usually a fan of the deep orange, this looks and sounds great. I actually just shared seeds for Carrie Claxon, which I grew this year. Jim didn't have that one. That's a Kentucky heirloom. So I just sent him seeds for that. And that looks very similar to this. Axel Lake Swamp Miracle. Wow, I was only 13. Don't make us feel old, Chastity. I was not 13 years old. Yeah, I know, Sam. I've heard from others. I don't know why, because I'm looking right now, and it shows Mrs. Tomato Head, so I don't know what's going on. I am still a Pepperhead in training, but it's about, like, I take this off. It says Lauren, Mrs. Tomato Head, what I'm looking at, but I know you guys have something different. I don't know. Let me see for a minute here. Nah, I don't want to play around right now because you guys don't need to see that, but we'll try to get it figured out for maybe tomorrow. Robin says, I've ordered from Jim. Great selection. I'm collecting all the Kentucky heirlooms from the counties my Kentucky ancestors lived in. How cool. That is cool beans and awesome sauce all wrapped into one. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. He's the guy to go to. Ken from Forgotten Heirlooms as well. That's great. Missy says, oof, for those of you that are growing micros indoors or lettuce or other things, you may know the plight of the occasional aphid. Missy says, loved Pee Wee Valley Sunrise, Red Wolf, Big Lumpy, and Hazelfield Farms were my favorites from Jim. Hazelfield Farms is a variety that keeps popping up for me in my travels, I forget if I've shared it on Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce, but it is on my list of things for the future to share. But let's take a look at it now because I believe it's got a great story. Thank you, Missy, for sharing that. Hazelfield Farm. Am I spelling it wrong? Oh, I am spelling it wrong. E-L. I'm looking for the listing with the description on it, but I don't see it. So we'll just take a look at the picture. I'm sure it's here somewhere. I'm just not seeing it. That's Hazelfield Farm, a Kentucky heirloom. That looks fantastic. Let me see if I can find the story real quick. I'm sure it's here. Jim is not coming up in my search. Farm tomato. It says a favorite at the Lexington this is from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. Highly productive favorite at the Lexington, Kentucky Farmers Market. I'm sure there's a story associated with it because I think that's why it was popping up. Hails from Hazelfield Farm in Worthville, Kentucky. Was found as a volunteer in their fields in 2008. I won't go on because that's just from another site that I can't verify, and I don't want to, that's not fair to Jim. I'm sure he's got, did I order this one? No, it must have been last time, I think. He'll have the true story. You can trust that to be true. Darla says Jim lives in Indiana like I do, and I've seen him at a few sweet seed swaps around here. He's one of the good guys. I know it. I know it to be true. And I don't know if you guys joined late, but I was saying I haven't had the pleasure to go to any of those swaps because they're usually very far from me. One of these days I'll do it. But you can see from the pictures, and then just from what I've heard, I'm friends with Kim Lund, of course, Ken Fry. They all support one another, which I think is just amazing. Sam says, getting to taste fruits that family members ate and you never get to meet them is a connection to the past that is beautiful. I agree. Isn't that cool? That's one of the reasons why I find the stories so amazing. I love that story of collecting all the Kentucky heirlooms from where your family is from. Not you, Sam, but I just think that's so amazing and so great that people like Jim offer that. What is this next one? Here's another new one for this year. It's called Bingham's Rose. Let's take a look at that. Okay, and here it is with the story. Bingham Rose. 75 days, indeterminate, regular leaf, red cherry, heavy producer, a good old-fashioned cherry variety. It is a local farm variety given to Chris Hubbard by Hazel Bradley, a pianist who received them from her piano teacher, who was a Russian nun in the 1910s, 1920s. Crittenden County, Kentucky, original seeds from Chris Hubbard. That looks great. I love all the seeds and goo in there. That's what I like in a cherry. There's one, maybe it's in the other envelope. Like I said a few minutes ago, I can't possibly share them all because we would be here all day, and we've done that before for certain, but we don't need this to be a 2-hour episode. Where'd it go? Well, I'll just pull it up. When I asked him about it, he said this was one of his pleasant big surprises this year. It's called Wingo Wonder. Here it is. Here's the listing. Look at this baby. Wingo Wonder. What else did Jim say? He just said it was one of his most pleasant surprises of the year. Wingo Wonder, 70 days, regular leaf, indeterminate, black, dark, purple fruit with a sweet, smoky taste, meaty center, juicy perimeter, a winner with all who tried it. from the Wingo family, received from the postmaster in Mayfield, Kentucky, pre-1910. Previously grown in Dogwood and Natchez, Kentucky. Seeds collected by D.D. Brewer, Graves County, Kentucky. Original seeds from Chris Hubbard. Who's making a list right now to order from Jim? Look at that thing. Sometimes you get the great color on the outside, but the inside doesn't have that deep coloring. And it doesn't necessarily affect the flavor. But for me, I mean, we eat in the beginning with our eyes, don't we? And I just love that interior. I do tend to find, though, the ones deep in the center have really good flavor for the most part. I did find an exception to that this year. I won't get into that. Not from Jim, somebody else. Not that it's the vendor's fault at all. I just didn't care for it. What was it? It was, I'll think of it. Something black. Hi, Conjured Vapors Peppers. Thanks for being here. Robin says Bear Wallow and Greasy Creek were good this year. Let's take a look at Greasy Creek. These names are great. Can you believe how the stories that he's able to pass on? I mean, they're not just grown in Kentucky pre-1910. I mean, it really goes deep. What am I searching for? How soon they forget. Greasy Creek. Let's look at Greasy Creek. I think I ordered this one last year. Here it is. Look at that. I want to find the one with the story if I can. Unfortunately, the picture doesn't have the story with it. Oops. But that is it. I'm not sure why it's showing up elsewhere on the screen. Let's see if I can do this. No. Oops, it's in another group. That's why. Is this showing it? Sort of. Yeah, I'm not finding it. But anyway, you get the idea. It's Greasy Creek, and Jim says it's another Appalachian heirloom variety. Good to know that that's good. Oh, this one looked cool. They all look good. It says if I'm seeing it all for the first time and I didn't know what I ordered, which is sort of true. Let me just check. Is this a new one? This was not a new one. But I've been more open this year to diving into white ones. Bug tussle, I hear across the board, people love bug tussle buttermilk wonder. This one's called Goff's Cream Tomato. Here it is. Look how beautiful this is. I mean, that is white, white, white. 85 days, indeterminate, regular leaf. A community-grown white tomato from Lawrenceburg, String-Torn area, Anderson County, Kentucky. From the Holt family pre-1950. From E. Ritter, Lexington, Kentucky. Very mild tomato, very juicy. Add some color to your salsa. What a salsa this would make. And seeds from Chris Hubbard. How cool would that be? Oh, you're so right. Can you imagine? Or tomato sauce? That would be amazing. So that's Goff's Cream. Here's another new one that looked and sounded interesting. I think it's another cherry. It's called Ginseng Red Berry. Oops. Hello. Here we go. Ginseng Red Berry. So pretty. Lots of seeds and goo. 75 days, indeterminate, regular leaf. A very sweet red cherry. Has a little bite in the aftertaste, but very balanced and sweet. Oh, this may have to slip into my grow list for next year. Very sweet red cherry. Little bite in the aftertaste. Yummy. Unknown original family. Grown in Ginseng, Kentucky in the 1910s. Later grown in Buffalo, Kentucky by the Schmidt family. Smith family received from Merrill family. Hodgenville, Kentucky. LaRue County, Kentucky. Original seeds from Chris Hubbard. That's Ginseng Red Berry. And I just want to repeat again, in case you're just joining us, I know people are still coming in. This unboxing is from Jim Wyant, otherwise known as Tomato Jim. He does not have a website, but I'm looking at everything on his Facebook page, which is all set to public, so you can look at them all. And then to order, you can send him a message on private messenger. And to get his list, you can send him a message and he will send it to you. It is one pack, 24 seeds for $3, or 2 packs for $5. US shipping is $1, regardless of how many varieties you order. He does split it up into envelopes, about 18 per envelope. And then if you're ordering international, he does ship international. It is $2.50 US for shipping. That story is correct. I think you bought a pack for me. That must be why it sounds familiar. Ken, thank you very much. Sam says, thank you for sharing its story. My sister's grandfather came from Crittenden County, Kentucky. I will share this one with her. Fantastic. TN Fishkeeper eats the tomato. Lisa, does Chris Hubbard sell seeds? I don't know for certain. I know he works things out with both Ken and Jim. I don't know that he sells directly. I feel like this came up in my Forgotten Heirlooms talk. I don't think he does, but I could be very wrong. So if anybody knows that for sure, let me know. Yeah, this is what I thought too, Sam. Chris is a seed preservationist. And he has a few people, trusted people like Jim, who he will give his collections to. Missy says, I saw Chris at a seed swap. He had a few seeds, but he shared his tomato large collection with Jim. Very nice. Very nice. And blah, blah. I couldn't agree with you more. The historical info that he provides. It's like looking into an amazing tomato family tree, isn't it? Like this one given to the cousin of so-and-so in this county, Kentucky. And just like there's not a piece of information he leaves out. And the same for his photos too. Very, very clever the way he does his photos. He shows the interior, he gives a weight, and then the name of the variety right on one single picture, which is great. Those of you who watch me know that I love interior shots. That means a lot to me. Teresa, I don't believe Jim has a minimum order requirement. I'm not aware of one. I don't think that you're going to find only one variety, I mean, but I haven't heard that he's got a minimum order requirement. So I would guess no. If anybody wants to correct me on that, let me know. TN Fishkeeper. So I am in Tennessee. Is it right for me to grow a Kentucky tomato? I think so. Why not? I'm in New Jersey. I grow Kentucky tomatoes. Chris would be a great Tomato Talk Live guest. He would. I'm sure he would. I saw Heidi mention that earlier too. All right, what's next? What should we dive into? Yeah, Ken, I think you're right. I think that's why the story for, no, I've already forgotten, the Hazelfield seems so fresh in my mind because I think it's from your unboxing. Oh, I'm making a mess. Let me find, I'll just look at my list here. Oh, this one, the name, it's all in the name. And I heard Jen mention it. Oh, you know what? I think we did our last Tomato Talk Live, which was broken up into 2 parts. We talked about stuff we're excited to grow in 2025 already. And this was one of them. Here we go. Pooch's Hell for certain. Come on, that name is fantastic. And this is a new one for this year. Yes, it is. 85 Days Indeterminate. It's another Chris Hubbard variety given to him by a feisty nursing home resident named Pooch Fuqua in Hyden, Kentucky. 1990s. He was almost 90 years old at the time. He grew up in Hell for Certain, Kentucky. That's the name of a town. Again, I'm sure I covered this when Jen and I did it, but I forgot. Later known as Dry Hill, Kentucky. Oh, okay. I guess they changed the name. Guess people are in an uproar. They didn't want a town called Hell for certain. I think it's cool. Leslie County, Kentucky. My original seeds from Chris Hubbard. This looks fantastic. Deep, deep red. Looks like about 1.5 pounds. They look fantastic. Pooch is Hell for certain. Kim, yes, I am friends with Chris on Facebook. Thank you. I believe he's in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap too. I think we talked about this with Ken's unboxing, or at least he was, because I know he's talked about his collection in at least one post before. Here's another one that is new for him this year. It's called KJ. Here it is. Another Chris Hubbard. 75 days, indeterminate, regular leaf. This doesn't look, oh no, we're good. Great for canning, slightly sweet with tart finish. Seeds given to me by Chris Hubbard. Kentucky Jellicoe Coal Company, 1933. The company no longer exists. Grown in my mine camp, KJ, Kentucky, Knox County. Original seeds from Chris Hubbard. Looks like this is about 0.5 pound, 0.8 ounces. That looks phenomenal. Missy, I'm planning pooches in 2025. I may have to do that too. Gosh, these unboxings kill me. I mean, the ordering is really what kills me in a good way. Then I do these unboxings and I remember why I ordered it in the first place. And I'm like, I still have 50 spots that I'm keeping open, but those spots are filling up fast. And I'm sure I will change things. Uh-oh. Tape's taking up part of the label. Let me just look through here. Let's look up this one that I ordered. It's called Dutch Pleasure. If you want to see Tomato Jim at a seed swap, I should have had the link ready and I don't. But as I mentioned earlier in the episode, Jen Joy did a episode where she went to a seed swap. If you can seek that out on her YouTube channel, which is Jen Joy, you can see she went from vendor to vendor, and Tomato Jim is in there. Big starring role. This is Dutch Pleasure. 75 days, indeterminate, regular leaf, pink, tart with lots of bite, good all-around tomato, pre-1900, Dutch Huguenot variety, grown around Bethlehem, Kentucky since 1920s, Blant family, Henry County, Kentucky, original seeds from Chris Hubbard. Dutch Pleasure. I'm noticing somebody in the comments underneath wrote that he had Dutch Pleasure in Amsterdam coming off a merchant marine training ship back in 1991. How cool is that? If you're watching and you have Jim's list, or, oh, why did it do that? Or you want to feature any specific varieties, let me know and I can share them. I'll share a few more. Malachi Jen says, I'm curious about Chris Hubbard myself. Anytime I see a variety that sounds amazing, it seems to come from his collection. Looks like he used to have a Facebook and a website, but does not anymore. Did he get off Facebook? We were friends. Yeah, I don't want to get into personal stuff, so maybe he's deactivated his list, his Facebook, or he's just gone off. Has anybody ordered from Jim that doesn't have Facebook before? A member asked about that several minutes ago, and I don't know the answer. I can't imagine that he wouldn't do it over email as well, because he does take Venmo or PayPal, but I don't want to give wrong information. And if we can't find that out during the show here, I can certainly find out for you after the show. Oh, this one sounded good too. They all did. I don't know who I'm kidding. This one's called Teacher's Apple. Is this a new one for this year? Yes, it is. And I think Jim told me great things about it because I ordered 2 packs. Teacher's Apple. I think this may have been the first one. I'm like, oh, I need that. Oh, look at these. Teacher's apple, 70 days, regular leaf, indeterminate. Pink saladette, very sweet with no afterbite. Well received by everyone who tried it. Very juicy. So, yeah, actually, I'm glad the description says that, because to me, it doesn't look very juicy. So that's really good to know. A big hit with all who tried it this year. Sunfish, Windyville, and pig communities in Kentucky. Keith family. Teacher and family preferred her students bring her tomatoes instead of apples. Traded in 1990s for sorghum seed. Edmonson County, Kentucky. Original seeds from Chris Hubbard. That's called Teacher's Apple. Hi, Justin, from down under. No upside down comments today, huh? Appalachian heirloom tomatoes look awesome. They sure do. He does ship overseas, in case you're just joining. $2 US for international shipping, up to 8. Let me get that right. 18 packets. Yes, $2.50 US for shipping. $3 per package of 24 seeds, 2 for $5 US. So, and I'll just show again, close up. Fresh, light, fluffy seeds. Oh, he's got, I think we actually have it in our group guides in our community, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. There is, Jim has shared his seed saving technique for fermentation. And I'll tell you, mine came pretty much directly from him. I mean, I was doing it mostly the same way as Jim, but I kind of have referred to his process. I've kind of taken it on as my own, so I appreciate that. And I believe we have that listed. I think it may even be in our group files. It's been up almost since we started the group. Let me just show a few more. This one sounds cool. Stab Farm Boy. Here it is. This looks cool. Sounds cool. 80 days, regular leaf, indeterminate. Pink fruit, sweet and very juicy. Very balanced tomato taste. Stab, Kentucky. Short Creek area. Later grown in Somerset, Kentucky from L. Nichols, Pulaski County, Kentucky. Original seeds from Chris Hubbard. That looks insanely juicy. If you do... Oop, that's not... I was trying to zoom in. Stab Farm Boy. Boy, does that look amazing. I'll do just a few more. If anybody has any varieties that you want me to showcase, just let me know. Yeah, Missy, somebody mentioned it a little earlier. There's another seed swap in Goshen, Indiana, January 18th, and Jim himself shared it in our group. So thank you for bringing that up in case anybody is joining us late. And Deborah from Down Under says that she has ordered successfully from Jim. So that is good to know. Again, for those of you who've been watching from the beginning, I know I repeat myself, but I'm looking at the numbers of people who are watching, and many join throughout the process. So he ships in regular envelopes, nothing on it with like a tomato or anything that customs would be like, let's check that out. And he does, it's wrapped in paper. I assume he does the same exact thing for international. Wrapped in paper, and then beautifully, it was beautiful before I got a hang of it, and then including protection. So quite a deal. International shipping for $2. What's wrong with my eyebrow? I noticed that earlier. I don't take care of my eyebrows. I don't know. Are you supposed to take care of eyebrows? I think you are. But I digress. Let me showcase this one. This looks cool too. Another bicolor. This is called Kentucky Striped. Ooh, this is pretty. Wow. Is that ever pretty? 90 days, indeterminate regular leaf, good yield of 12 to 18 ounce yellow and red bicolor fruit with very good flavor. Multicolored shades of red, yellow, and orange make for a lovely tomato. Beautiful, sliced, fruity taste with a tart acid bite to it. The top is ruffled and the bottom is somewhat puckered. I love that. The size of these vary anywhere from 8 to 18 ounces. It's a Kentucky heirloom, first offered in Seed Saver's 2006 yearbook by Al Anderson of Troy, Ohio, who purchased it from Brown's Nursery, known to have been grown by Gary Millwood. The late Gary Millwood, who was a mentor to many. I'm growing Millwood's inspiration this year from somebody else who considers him a mentor. Think about stories, right? I love the looks of this boy, Kentucky striped. Robin says, Kentucky stripe is on my wish list. You can't see the variety? Couldn't see the one before Kentucky striped. And now I'm forgetting what that was. I don't remember. Somebody remind me and I'll pull it back up. Don't know what I did. Kelly says, I'm looking forward to growing Barnes Mountain Orange and Blackfoot this year. I'm going to show I can show both of them. I ordered Blackfoot too. Let's see what it looks like. It's not coming up. Shoot, I don't know why. Oh, I'm saying Blackwood, it's Blackfoot. That's why. Ooh, does this look pretty? Let's see the one with the description, but let's pull this up. Blackfoot. Oh my gosh. That's insane. I don't know why I keep switching things up on me. Let's try to get a better look at it. Here we go. That's Blackfoot. And let's see. Came from the Gary Millwood Maria Stenger collection. My references, this is from Jim. My references say it came from a gentleman of Blackfoot ancestry who shared the seeds with the Darnell family in eastern Kentucky. They have been shared with Melody Rose of Benton, Kentucky through Tomatoville. That's all. That is about the extent of my information, as if that isn't enough, Jim. This looks outstanding. The shoulders looks like an old heirloom with the kind of golden greenish shoulders. This particular one is closing in. It's like 1.75 pounds. That's a big tomato Blackfoot, and I love the color on this. Should add that to my list too. Hi, Hector. Stab Boy. Okay, thank you. I will pull that up. Boy, Blackfoot looks amazing. Stab Farm Boy. Here it is. Stab Farm Boy. I'll read it again. 80 days, regular leaf, indeterminate. It's from Chris Hubbard collection from Stab, Kentucky. Pink fruit, sweet and very juicy. Looks like, it says Stab Farm Bay on the photo, but everything else is Stab Farm Boy, so that may be a typo. All right, let's pick one more. Let's see if there's any with cool names that I'm missing. Oh yeah, I've got to do this one. It's called Eagle Creek Pew Filler. Ooh, this looks good. Check this out. Eagle Creek pew filler, and I'm pretty sure there's a good story attached to it. Let's take a look. 90 days, indeterminate, regular leaf, red, very meaty center with a lot of juice in the outer area. Lots of tomato taste with plenty of bite. Ooh, must grow. Great canning mater from a member of the Church of Christ community in Glencoe, Kentucky, who used the pews in the church to ripen and store tomatoes. Gallatin County, Kentucky, original seeds from Chris Hubbard. So there you go. So again, it is Jim Wyant does not have a website, but you can order from him on Facebook. If you're in our group, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, you can find him on Messenger. Just reach out to him. He will send you a list of his 2024-2025 list, which is about 250 varieties long. An asterisk will designate if it's new this year. He does have a lot of fans who order from him every year. This is my second year ordering from him. So the asterisk is to designate what's new so people know what to get. So find him on Facebook. It's at jim.wyant.79. And all the photos I've been sharing, even if you're not friends with him, you don't need to be because he's got them set to public so you can see all of them. So you can go directly to him or definitely find him on Messenger. And he's got a lot of fans, as we've seen today, those who are very, very happy. Justin Arnold, Jim Wyant for the win. I agree. I feel very honored that we have Jim Wyant in our life. People like Jim, people like Ken, who, I get excited over, I love Eastern European varieties, but I have such respect for these home for me, homegrown pieces of Americana. These stories that Jim shares, I know Ken shares as well, are really just so important. And the fact that the two of them take such measures to make sure those stories get passed along is really fantastic. You're welcome, Robin. So thank you all for joining in. And I hope to see you again tomorrow with another unboxing. But this is Jim Wyant, also known as Tomato Jim, an important part of our tomato community. And you can find him right on Facebook. He takes Venmo, PayPal. One more time, it's $3 per pack of 24 seeds, 2 packs for $5. Shipping in the U.S. is $1, no tracking. International is $2.50 U.S. dollars. So I will see you next time. Thank you, Jim, if you're watching. We appreciate you so much and what you do. And I will see you guys next time. Merry Christmas. If I don't see any people before that, I have a feeling if you tune in frequently, you will see me, maybe tomorrow, definitely Thursday for Lawrence Tomato Awesome Sauce. But I won't see you again today. So those of you who watch me twice, no more today. Peace and love. Get your gratitude on and go grow tomato. Oh, no, I won't bring that up today. I'll bring it up another time. Go grow tomatoes. Bye, everybody. Thank you.